Are you looking for a job? Are you happy in your job? Or someone you know is looking for a job? Then stay tuned. Hello beautiful people, welcome to Inspirational Channel with Evelyn, and today's video is all about job interviews. We have with me here a general manager who is very experienced in recruiting, and he will be telling us what employers expect interviewers to say. Welcome to the channel, Mr. Morat.
Thank you, Evelyn.
We know that looking for and getting job is very daunting in today's economy, because sometimes we spend hours on application and we never hear anything back, or sometimes we get lucky or we get blessed and we get called to an interview, but still we don't get the job that we want. What does employers actually expect us to say? What do they expect to see from us for us to get a job?
Right. What employers expect to see depends on what kind of job you are going for. I have done interviews from management level to team member level, and different jobs have different criteria and different interview structures. But ultimately, it falls down to you have to recruit who you think is the best possible person. And it also doesn't depend on the interview itself. When you're going to interview, the day you're going to interview, how your mindset is. The person who is interviewing you will judge you based on your behavior within that 10 or 15 minutes. If you're having a bad day, you are a little bit late, and then obviously you are going to be anxious about the interview and you may fail. So it's very important for an interview to plan it and turn up on time well beforehand, so you can recollect yourself before you go into that room for the interview. Most people tend to look at jobs as means of getting money, because you need to pay your bills. However, what we don't realize is in our lifetime, from the time you are born till the time you die, that's probably 8 years. In this country, it is about 80.9 or something for the average life expectancy. So you have got a life of 8 years, and your first part of your life is brilliant. 10, 15 years, 18 years, you still can do whatever you want. You are dreaming about a lot of things. However, once you hit that working age, from there onwards till the age of 65 to 68 for males in this country, I think that's majority of your best part of your life, you are working. And during this time, you are spending more time at work than at home. So it's really important you find a job you like. Normally when you go to a structured interview, somebody will come and welcome you, probably the person who is doing the interview. So it's very important to be positive and reflect a cheerful self. First of all, they will ask you to tell about yourself. It is normally about your education and what kind of jobs you are doing and your experience, and these are sort of things you say where you are. If you're going for, if you're a young person, I went to school here, I achieved this and this, and I'm looking for a job now in career. I like this field because this will give me more opportunities. I like your organization, right? So when you get through that, and then people will focus on your strengths and weaknesses. On a structured interview, they wouldn't, like a behavioral interview, they will ask you the question, what are your strengths? So you need to know what your strengths are. So maybe everything is a strength and everything is a weakness. Like you could be a flexible person who can be flexible throughout the week. Some people can't work throughout the week, they have other commitments. For example, they could have children, so then you can't work during certain hours. Or if you're a young person just out of school, your strength is you can work any day, any time. So that would be something appreciated by the companies as well. And then you could be a fast learner, you're good at computers, you're good working in a team, which is one of the main skills people look for. Work with other people. No matter how talented you are working with people, if you don't have that positive relationship with people, what happens is your working environment becomes really toxic.
Yes.
So people look for people who can work well in a team. So these could be your strengths. What is your weaknesses? People don't like to say their weaknesses. people would like to say there are no weakness. That is not a good answer. Everybody has weakness.
True.
Weakness in the sense we are looking for the areas you can develop. Everybody has areas where you can develop. It's very important to say some people's weakness, mainly when I did interviews, is people come up with an answer is time management. Time management could be a weakness. And sometimes people who work so hard and very good managers, their time management skills are really not good. That affects their personal life. So once it affects somebody's personal life, then as a side effect of that, it will affect their professional life very badly as well.
True, very true.
So when it comes to time management, you should have time with your family, your work, that balance. If you are not getting it right in the current job, you can say that I'm not getting the right work-life balance, so I spend less time with my family, so it's always that guilt feeling is in my head that affects my productivity. Be honest about it. Maybe if you are a slow learner, and once you slowly learn something, you will execute it perfectly.
Yeah.
You have to tell that to the interviews. Okay, normally I take a little bit of time to learn. Once I have learned, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So they are aware of it before they give you the job. Okay,
Yeah.
this person might take 8 weeks rather than 4 weeks to learn, but this person has said in this strength, he's reliable, flexible, outgoing, friendly. There are a lot of strengths.
Yeah.
So finally what you're summarizing, you're looking at all their strengths and all their weaknesses and say, does the strengths outweigh the weaknesses?
Yeah.
So if you say no weaknesses, actually the person who is doing the interview knows that you are lying. You are not an honest person. Like you said, it's a daunting task interviewing. First thing people come to people's mind. At every level I have interviewed, these answers have come across, and people would say, I'm really good at customer service. Now when you look at that sentence, this is a customer service job, and everybody in the line to be interviewed are going for a customer service job. So do you think any one of them is going to turn around and tell you, I'm not good at customer service?
No.
So everybody's going to say, I'm good at customer service. So you need to take it to the next level. So you say, I like interacting with customers. I can't think of myself sitting in a desk. I will tell you some brilliant example of customer service I have done. And you can bring in the examples. Like, for an example, this customer had such and such issue. This is why I went out of the way to resolve that customer issue. Yeah, and you can say on your previous work, maybe you had won some certificates, awards, team member of the month. If you have anything like that, you can mention it there. I'm good at service. These are the evidence for it.
Oh,
Okay. So most of the time, people don't give evidence or examples. They would just like to say they are good at it.
Yeah.
And without realizing, everybody else who's coming after you is going to score the same thing. The one thing you should not do there is telling negative things about your previous organization. Which
Yeah.
happens more often than you think in interviews. You say, I don't like the company I work for, this, my manager, this. That negativity, you should always be thankful to the place you work. And then you say, the reason I'm joining is to develop my career, because you have big organization, bigger structures, there's availability for training and development, you fund people and you give them recognized qualification, that's good. Or you can say, your company has more branches than my company, so obviously there's going to be more opportunities. Or my industry is declining, what I work, and I'm looking for an industry which is thriving, a business which is thriving. Then people would ask, like, why should I hire you? Why should you hire a person? So then it becomes your strengths, educational qualifications, your experience, what new things you can bring to this organization from your side of the bargain. So that needs to be communicated as well.
Okay.
So, and finally they will ask you, when can you start? Be realistic about it. Some people I have interviewed, I haven't given a job, because real reason is sometimes they come across, like when I ask them, like, how long is your notice period? Last question in your current job. They will say, I can leave today, I hate the job. Okay, what does that reflect on a person? It reflects that this person doesn't care about the organization they work for years.
No loyalty.
No loyalty, and they just not keeping the part of their contract. Okay, if they are doing it to that person, what's the chances of them doing to me? So the chances are very high. One day they would leave without notice from me as well. So that also sort of very important. And then they will ask you any other questions, and people normally would like to say, I have no questions, but we all have questions. So you can ask like, what are the holiday entitlement? Okay, what are the holiday entitlements? How do you take it? Do you allocate holiday? Some companies allocate holiday, some companies let you take it the way you want. So you can ask these sort of questions. Is there a pension scheme in the company? Because that shows that you are thinking about long term. Short term people won't ask for a pension scheme. They're only there for 6 months. So, so how do I join it? So these sort of questions. How long is my probation period going to be? How is my probation period going to be monitored? Am I going to have a meeting with my managers to discuss the feedback from both sides so I can develop? So this is a basic interview. Once you satisfactorily answer that, hopefully you will get a job offer.
Oh, wow. So what if you don't ask them any question afterwards? Doesn't imply that you are not interested in the job, or?
Well, anything in an interview can be turned into advantage for yourself.
Okay.
So that is also another 2 minutes of time you get to impress the person who interviews you.
Okay. You did say earlier on that some people work for money and some people work because they are passionate about the job. To be honest with you, I think 80% of us work for money. How would the employer know that you are working for money or you are passionate about their job? How can they tell?
That would come across in the way you speak, number one. And interviews are not very clever people. Whenever you say something, they would ask 2 more questions to find out your interest levels, and you would be in a corner.
Okay.
And that's one thing. Other thing is person, when people are speaking, you give eye contact and you look at the person's body language, and you can normally judge whether a person is being honest. And the tone of voice is another one which give away as well. When people are not confident about their answer, their tone drops. So those things as well. And also, if there's a panel of interviewers, one person will be asking the questions, the other persons will be observing you.
Okay.
So the main thing is for you to come across genuine, confident, friendly, team worker, hard worker, flexible, willing to go the extra mile. So you need to come across as that person.
Okay. Is there anything we can do to boost the confidence level when we go for the interview? Because sometimes we genuinely want the job, but we don't portray that because maybe we are nervous. Anything we can do to boost the confidence on the day?
Different people do different things. Okay. When you are going for your dream job, I mean, everybody has a dream. Like when you think about your childhood, right? Most of the jobs we do are not what we dreamed of doing. And most of the people have given up on their dreams and they don't even think about it anymore. If you close your eyes for 5 seconds and think that, what do I really want to be? You find your ideal job, number one. To boost your confidence level, people do lots and lots of techniques. And I'm not an expert in it.
Okay.
However, what I do is I take 10 seconds, I close my eyes and I relax and I take all my thoughts out of my head. And some people try to remember answers for questions. You need to know, you need to study, you need to prepare for an interview. But however, if you try to remember everything you want to say, that makes you really nervous. And you have to trust in yourself to say that it is in there. It will come out when I need it. So relaxation technique, numerous relaxation techniques, you can do any of them. Some people would wake up in the morning and pray. So
that's the best one?
Yeah, different people relax in different ways. So whatever relaxes you, do it. Listen to some nice music on the way to the interview in your headphones. Maybe bring your spirits up and make you feel positive.
Thank you so much. And thank you too for watching the video. We hope that this video was very helpful, and we all need to work, because in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 10, the Bible says that the person who is unwilling to work shall not eat. So please, let's do our best when we are looking for our job. We will see you next week, but until then, thank you for watching the video. Share, comment down below, and we will see you next week. Stay blessed.